Been told that I need to remind everybody to like or subscribe or hit the little bell thingy. Don't know what the little bell thingy is, but hit the little bell thingy. That's apparently the YouTube thing to do.
South Africans, people of South Africa, the authorities don't care about the people of this country or this country. I don't care if you are rich or poor, male, female, gay or straight, black, white, Indian, colored, or anything in between. Care is what care does. And Forrest Gump said it like this: stupid is what stupid does. And what that means is something is what it does, not what it feels, not what it thinks, not even what it promises. You will know that somebody cares for you by how they treat you and what they do with you and for you. Have the authorities in this country provided even water to all South Africans who need that basic service? They haven't even started building dams in preparation to supply that water. Have they supplied electricity to all the people in South Africa who need it? No, they have not even maintained the grid of electricity so that the people who have already got it don't have a consistent flow. Interestingly, in the 1900s, the British, yes, who took over by power, they did take stuff, they did build stuff, and they did hold stuff. But in 1961, when the apartheid government got independence from the United Kingdom, they handed over everything. The British handed over everything to the new apartheid government. Everything that the apartheid government then also took, built, and held, including all the land, they then gave to the new South African government in 1994. Every single road, every robot, every street pole, every light on every highway, every bridge, every hospital, every clinic, every police station, every university, every school, and all the land, and a whole lot more. ISCOR, Telkom, SAA, all the state-owned enterprises that are now falling apart because the, let's say, elders of the village, which is no more, are squandering and not even caring for the people of the village. It's the people on grassroots level that are suffering the most, but everybody is suffering. I say to people now that we're going into another lockdown, that there's going to be more restrictions, and people say, really, do you think so? Of course, because how on earth are the authorities going to justify a vaccine if we don't go into lockdown again? How do they justify the last few lockdowns if we don't go into lockdown again when the numbers increase once more? They say they do it because they care about the people of South Africa. Do they care about the fact that suicide is through the roof? And the call centers, the suicide call centers, are getting more than double the amount of calls that they used to get because people are depressed, suffering and dying. Stress-related disorders are going through the roof, heart attacks. More people are dying from not getting treatment and other reasons than they are from the virus. And I'm not discounting that the virus is something that is here. Who knows what it is? But it is killing people. But the measures are doing much worse. Do they care about the domestic violence that's taking place? They talk about the second pandemic, the gender-based violence. Do they realize that those call centers are also overloaded at the moment because there's more reports of the domestic violence because the abusers have lost their jobs, or they weren't working for a while, they didn't get alcohol, they were angry and they were beating up women. The murder rate in domestic violence has gone up. And they say that they care about the men, the women and the children, but they're not paying any attention to these stats that are happening. Do they care about the kids that didn't get food when they couldn't go to school and it was the one meal a day? Do they care about the industries that are dying in the country, the glass industry, because they keep shutting down overnight, the alcohol industry, consoles going under, SA Breweries is wanting to get rid of thousands of staff because every time they produce beer and then we lock down for 6, 7, 8 weeks, that beer goes stale. Do they care about the tourism industry? Do they care about all the jobs in tourism, about all the people who can't afford to pay their rent anymore, who can't afford to pay their bonds anymore, who can't afford to pay their medical aid anymore, who can't afford to service their cars and their insurance? Do they care about all those people? No. And that's the majority of South Africa, who are suffering either in unemployment or losing employment. There's very few people comparatively who are managing to keep going. They say that they care, but care is what care does. You know, the mindset that it takes a village to raise a child is a lovely idea. Primarily you need a mom and a dad, and then the village is a fantastic help. But the villages in South Africa are abandoned. Just drive around the country to the rural areas and the villages are dying and they're abandoned because there's no infrastructure for them to thrive. So everybody's moving to the cities. There's no villages left, but the elders of these villages who are in charge aren't looking after the villages. And that was the condition. They didn't mind the elders doing well, the king making lots of money, as long as the people were at least basically provided for. And they're not. The government in South Africa, the elders, the authorities of South Africa do not care about you, the people, or about the country. And we need to wake up. We are sleeping. We think that the government is doing what they're doing because they care for us. There's only two alternatives left. If they do not know the damage that's being caused by the measures, then they're ignorant and they shouldn't be in charge. I don't think they can claim ignorance because they've got the best advisors in the world internationally advising countries. And they've got the biggest budget in the country, SARS, in order to affect anything that needs to be done. They are ignoring the international instructions entirely when it comes to things like masks. The United Nations, not the United Nations, World Health Organization has categorically stated that it is not a good idea for people to wear masks as a mandatory thing because most people don't wear it properly and it causes more damage than good. Yet in South Africa, if you don't wear a mask, you can get arrested. They've also said that lockdown is not the way to go. You cannot shut down the economy, yet we are persisting with shutting down the economy. There was that video that the president, I don't know if it was intentional, was caught on with a group of people that he was talking about saying that they're going to lock down, this is a year ago, until April, and then he laughs and everybody laughs with him. And he says, ha ha ha, but I didn't say what year. That is so sinister, and it's been missed because South Africa, we are asleep. So wake up, South Africa. My name is Dean Haystack and I'm just a guy who gives a damn. I'm going to put my mask on now.
My name is Dean Haystack, the Dean, and you're listening to The Coffee Conversation.